My name is Madison. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sitting down and walking you through my goal setting for 2023. I'm going to be honest, I haven't even thought about my goals yet. In the past, goals have been something that I've fixated on for a very long time. The month or two leading up to the new year, I've always thought about what my goals are, and I feel like I almost focus on them and romanticize them so much that I am focused more on the goal than the process. Now, I think goals can be really healthy, but they can also be really toxic. Goals sort of set this idea that it's all or nothing. Like, if you didn't achieve your goal, you weren't successful. And I think, especially in the equestrian community, that is so far from the truth. Because at the end of the day, horses are horses. Horses can hurt themselves. Things happen. You can hurt yourself. There's an infinite number of possibilities that could restrict you from achieving your goal, but that by no means you weren't successful in the process. So looking back on this past year, I by no means achieved everything I wanted to, and that's okay. I'm trying to be okay with that, and a lot of it was out of my control. It happened to be the horses I was riding, maybe the financial situation I was in, maybe the time didn't work out. Honestly, simply, some of your goals you can't achieve because the date of the horse show doesn't work with your schedule, like things like that. And this is gonna look different for everybody, and that's okay, but I wanna walk you all through how I'm going about achieving my goals and writing my goals and planning my goals for this year. So let's go along. I've got my iPad here. I'm gonna start by sort of defining some categories for goals. Some are going to be a lot more tangible than others, and some are going to be more focused, like I said, on the process and the journey, as like cliche as that sounds. My first set of goals is actually going to be regarding my social media. Now, I know social media can be a very superficial thing, and there's a lot of toxicity that comes along with it, but at the same time, I love this, and there are so many bright points to this. I love being able to share myself with you all, and I love being able to connect and learn from other creators and writers out there. Social media has been a big part of my life off and on for the last 7 years or so, and I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. So this year more than ever, especially all the years in college, I want to go hard with it, but I will talk more about that in a minute because I'm getting ahead of myself. The next category I'm going to be talking about is horse shows. This is a lot more tangible. I feel like when you think of horse shows, you probably think like, oh, placing, qualifying for something and that sort of thing, which is great. And I want to have a few of those goals, but I want them to be dreams, I guess you could say. Like, you can have a goal and you can have a dream. My dream might be to win Rebecca Farms this year. Probably not gonna happen, but it would be cool, and it's something I'm gonna work towards, where I feel like setting sort of like an intermediate, whoa, what's the word? Intermittent? Intermediary? A middle step, how about that? Setting a step sort of halfway between where you are now and that dream of yours that's much more realistic maybe, can still help you feel accomplished and like you achieved what you wanted to, or at least something at all, without feeling like it was an all or nothing, you didn't reach that goal. With horse shows, I'm kind of leaving it open-ended this year. Again, I'll talk more about that in a minute, but I don't know what this year is gonna look like. My next sort of goal is going to be focused on general riding, things I want to get more confident in, things I want to feel better at. These are things that are going to be a lot less tangible than horse show placings, qualifying, finishing on your dressage score, that sort of thing. And I think right now I'm gonna start with those 3 categories. I might add more as I think of more, but these are just sort of the 3 I've kind of had on my mind the last few days, but again, nothing super intense. Starting with social media, my first goal is to hit 10K on YouTube. I have been making videos on this channel for a very, very, very long time, and I have sort of been stagnant around 9.2K for literally like 3 years, which I'm not complaining about. I have not put in the work to get that momentum going again, especially when you look back at when I was making 3, 4, 5 like videos a week, where I was putting in hours and hours and hours every video. I look back at some of them and I laugh and I think they're like crappy quality, but that does not discount the amount of time and the amount of energy I put into every video. Like horse show packing videos, horse show morning routines, spring cleaning, I don't know, like so many videos I used to make like 2018, 2019. I miss that and I want to do that again. And in fact, I have a content calendar I sat down and made a few days ago of me putting out at least 2 videos a week through the end of February. And this was something that I used to do and I've tried to keep up with lately, but I haven't had a ton of luck with it. I think I just haven't been giving it the attention it deserves. But a lot of the videos I used to make would take me a week of filming to do. I love this Esme, but she has a professional cameraman. That is her job. To my knowledge, she's not in school. To my knowledge, she doesn't do any other like jobs or anything like that. I don't have that luxury. I'm a full-time student. I work 3 jobs at the university. I'm a teaching assistant. I'm in a robotics club, and that's okay. She's living her life, I'm living mine, but she's in a situation where she can film an entire video in a day, edit it whenever, but mine where the videos I'm putting a lot of effort into take me a lot longer just because I don't have the support potentially that she has as far as like a cameraman or a drone photographer, like so many cool things that I would love to be at one day, but I'm not there right now and that's okay. So me making this content calendar is really gonna help me start filming videos that I'm not planning on publishing for 2 or 3 weeks, just because it takes me a long time to film, especially when I'm working around coaching at the barn, classes, school, senior design, applying to grad school, visiting grad schools, that sort of thing. So I'm really excited for this. I'm really motivated for a lot of what's on here, and I took inspiration from a lot of the videos I used to make, just because that was like my peak with YouTube. Like I was so happy. I loved just getting to create content, and in fact, that at the time was my job. I was sustaining myself for the most part financially, and because of that I was able to pour in that amount of energy and effort and love into my videos. And not that I necessarily care to get back there financially, but I want to get back in a place where I feel like I'm creating content I am just like having a blast with. So I'm hoping that with that will come hitting 10K on YouTube. This is a very chunky little pen here. I don't know, I just feel like that's been like the next milestone, and it's been so close for so long. And if all goes well, I think I could hit this by the end of the semester, but we'll see. It's gonna take a lot of work, but I'm excited and I'm motivated, and I don't know, I'm just feeling excited. Alrighty, the next 2 goals on here, I feel like are something that people don't talk about a lot on YouTube, especially in the equestrian space, but I want to be completely open and candid and honest with you guys. These 2 goals are to get monetization back on this channel. If you did not know, YouTube, you have to have 4,000 watch time hours a year and 1,000 subscribers to keep monetization on your YouTube channel. Monetization is basically when YouTube or somebody runs ads on your video, you get a paycheck from that. So the more views you get, and the greater like interaction you have with that ad content, the more you get paid. It's by no means a significant amount of money, at least at the stage that I am at, but it definitely helps. And I have not had monetization on my channel in a few years just because I have not been putting out enough content to support 4,000 watch time hours a year, which that is a lot of hours. Let's see, let's do this math. 4,000 hours. That's somebody watching my video for almost half a year straight, 166 days. 5.6 months straight, somebody watching my videos nonstop. That's crazy. That does not happen like overnight. That is hard to do, and I would love to get back to that point. Now, I don't do this for the money. Obviously, I have been doing this the last 3 years and I've not made a penny from it, but that doesn't mean that the money does not help. I am a college student. I make not great money. I'm applying to grad schools. I've just applied to grad schools. I am potentially moving across the country next year, kind of depending. And at some point, I don't know when, but I need to be in a place where I can support Penelope on my own. Right now, I pay for everything at the barn except for her board. So I pay for her shoes, I pay for, I guess, and I don't always pay for her vet, we kind of split vet, but I split vet, I pay for her shoes, I pay for every single one of my lessons, every single one of my shows, all the trailering, all of my tack, everything at the barn except for board and part of vet bills I pay for, which I'm really proud of myself to be at that point now, but it is by no means cheap. And if I could get back to the point where doing what I love can help support a hobby as expensive as riding, even just a little bit, that would be huge. Even $100 a month would pay for half of her shoes, which, side note, Penelope got shoes for the first time like 2 months ago. They're so expensive, but they make her feel better and she's happier in them, especially with the cold weather, so I'm really glad she has them. But it's things like that that I don't know. I don't want to say it motivates me, but it kind of does. Like, it's really hard some weeks for me to want to put in 5 to 8 hours a week into my channels and into making videos for y'all. If I could spend those 5 to 8 hours a week working at my job that actually pays me. Another 20 to 24, I guess, another 20 to 32 hours a month is another like $600. That is a lot of money, and it's really hard for me to justify sometimes going and putting more hours in at work or making videos if I kind of have to pick and choose which one I'd rather do that week. So I want to be back at the point where I am monetized on this channel, and going off of that, have 3 more sponsors or partnerships. I'm shooting to actually do this again by the end of the semester, going into the summer and show season, just because that definitely helps. It's been a long time since I've had a paid sponsorship. Recently they've been free product, which is great because that's things I'm not going out and purchasing for Penelope, and or I make commission. So typically if there's a link in the bottom of a video, there's a chance I either get credit towards the company's business or I get paid when you use my link. Now, this is a win-win-win for everybody. You get a discount when you use my code, they get a new customer, and I get a little bit of commission. However, this is nothing significant. Most places it's 5 to 10%, which means if you spend $100 on a company, on a website, I make $5, which again, $5 pays for like 3 minutes of a lesson. So not a significant amount of money, but 3 more sponsors or partnerships is 3 more chances for me to generate more income for myself so that I can continue to do what I love, have Penelope, be at the barn, beyond when my parents support me. Just because I am 21, I'm graduating college this year, which is crazy. And like I said, it's a little bit of a taboo subject. I feel like this isn't something most people talk about on YouTube, but I want to be open that this is a part of it. So there is that. Horse shows. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting one. This video is already really long, but for a little background, Penelope has not been in my possession for very long. I've had her for 3 months. Before that, she was with my mom for 3 years, and before that, I had her for 3 years. So in the 3 years that I had her, I took her from intro up to novice. We did a year and a half at novice and some of the meter jumpers that actually went really well. By the end of our time at novice, we were consistently like top 5 or 6 in classes of like 12, 15, 20 people. We were pretty decent. She got to be a pretty good little solid novice pony. Our dressage was never great. We'd be mid to bottom field after dressage, but that pony can jump and run like there's no tomorrow, and she loves it. After I moved to college, my mom took over the ride on her and has gone beginner novice on her for quite some time, and now I've had her back, and if I'm being honest, the last few months have been really, really discouraging. I have done my best to try to keep a positive outlook on it, and I feel that smiling through the pain sometimes really does help, and it does sort of brighten your mood, but there have also been times where I just feel so beyond discouraged. Comments from coaches, comments from other people at the barn, that hurt. And I love Penelope with my whole heart. I know she is a nutcase sometimes, but sometimes it's just so hard to feel like next summer is going to be anything worthwhile. So I have goals for next summer, but sorry, I almost feel like I'm gonna cry, but like I don't need to cry. I'm just bummed, honestly. Like, I've had her for 3 months, and most of it has been like me crying on the way home from the barn, just feeling like it's 1 step forward, 5 steps back. Like feeling like my mom did a better job with her than I have, and feeling like I'm just messing her up. But okay, enough of that. First goal for horse shows is to finish on my dressage score. Now, what level, you ask? I don't really care. I went cross-country schooling 2 weeks after I got her at college. It was amazing. We jumped almost a little over half of the novice course at the Tamora Equestrian Center up in Fort Collins, or up in Greeley, and that was the first time she had jumped novice since I had her, like 3.5 years before. She was amazing. We left that show, my trainer and I were talking about going to Rebecca next year and running the novice there. I was just feeling like so confident, so excited for winter training, and just so motivated. And since then, I feel like it has been just completely on the downhill. I've had some really, really, really bad lessons of just really discouraging rides, and like I said, comments that I feel like have just like burned a hole in my heart that I feel like I haven't been able to move past. And so I don't know what level. If I could do that at novice next year, that'd be great. If I am at beginner novice most of the year, I don't really care. But at some point, I want to finish on my dressage score, because that'd be nice. Another thing, I want to run a novice again. Whoa. I haven't run a novice since 2019 at Pony Club Champs with Penelope. And I know we have it in us. That pony can jump the moon. I know that we did it pretty darn well for a while. And like I said, I know it's in us. I just need to figure out how to get back there. I don't know if it's the training style of the coach I'm with or what, but things are just not going well right now, which is really discouraging. I really thought that riding her through the winter was going to make us, or let us make like leaps and bounds of improvements, and it's just not. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the indoor, I don't know if it's the environment, I don't know if it's where she's living or the people around us, but she is so beyond anxious no matter what I do, and it's really, really discouraging. But at some point, I want to get back up to novice. It is gonna happen. I don't care if it's recognized. I don't care if it's a schooling show. I don't care if it's a combined test. We have it in us. We did it basically a few, like 3 rides after I got her in my possession, or 5 rides after I got her in my possession. But I don't care when that happens. I don't care how well it goes. Well, I do. I want to finish a novice. How about that? Those are my goals. Now let's talk about my dreams, like I started to talk about. I think it's important to have dreams for the more tangible things, because this is a perfect world. What would happen? First off, I'd go to Rebecca Farm. Now, if you've never heard of Rebecca Farms is one of the most amazing places I've ever been. It is this equestrian facility in Kalispell, Montana. I've been twice. I've never actually ridden there though. They offer novice through 4-star, so novice is the lowest level. It is a decent drive. They have a novice training, novice in training 3-day. I don't think they have a prelim training. And then they have 2, 3, 4-star. They might have a 1-star this year. I don't even know. But either way, it is beautiful. One of the most amazing facilities I've ever been to. One of the most amazing cross-country courses I've ever seen. I was there a few years ago, as y'all maybe remember, with the Area 9 Young Riders team, grooming. So me going to ride at Rebecca Farm, A, implies that I'm going novice. B, it implies that I'm going novice by middle of July or earlier. And C, it implies that I feel confident that it's going to go well. Now, there's no guarantee anything's going to go well, especially on high-strung horses. But I am by no means going to spend thousands of dollars to drive across the country and drag my horse with me if I don't think it's going to go well. I would not move up at Rebecca. I would not make it my first novice. If I go novice and if I go to Rebecca, I want it to be my 2nd, 3rd, 4th show of the year. Now I've already looked at the calendar and there aren't a ton of recognized events, at least in our area, that I can do, just with like plans I already have with regards to graduation, work trips, that sort of thing. But my horse doesn't know the difference. Let's be honest, my horse does not know the difference between a recognized show and a combined test. She's just as excited, she's just as crazy, she has just as much fun. It's all a psychological thing for me, but I think if I go to enough combined tests and schooling shows, it doesn't really matter. So Rebecca Farm is a big dream of mine that I would love to accomplish. And my other big dream for next year is to make the novice intercollegiate like top 10 awards. So I don't know if I've talked about this much, but I've actually been, I started at the CU eventing team and I'm sort of in the process of like really getting the ball rolling with it. Yeah, we're an intercollegiate eventing team at CU Boulder. We're, I think, the only intercollegiate team between like Texas and California or something like that, which is exciting. And every year, at the end of the year, USEA does awards. They do young rider, female rider, junior, adult amateur, and they have intercollegiate awards. These are a lot less competitive just because there aren't a ton of intercollegiate riders. But in a perfect world, I make the intercollegiate list, which would be nuts just because not only would that mean I'm especially a novice, not only would that mean we're going novice, but it means that we're doing it pretty darn well, which would be great. I'm not in the position to travel to 10 different shows like some people are, just financially and time-wise. So some people go to 10, 15 shows and get 1 point here, 1 point there, 1 point there. I don't have that luxury. So in order for me to be competitive at that, that means I have to be doing pretty darn well with my 3 or 4 shows I go to stay competitive with the folks that can just travel around. Which, good for them. I just can't do that right now. So those are my horse show dreams. Moving on to general riding. The first one I have is get my confidence back at jumping 3 foot plus. Now, like I said, these are a lot less tangible because how do you truly measure confidence? But but I would love to get my confidence back. I feel like lately I've done nothing but lose confidence every single time I ride, and more specifically every single time I jump. I think there's a lot of factors playing into this, but I don't know. It's gonna take time. Confidence is not built overnight. And I'm looking forward to going through the process. Penelope's got all the confidence in the world, so I don't worry about her, but I want to learn to trust myself again. Back when I was showing her, especially novice and like the meters and stuff like that, I did not bat an eye at anything because I had so much confidence in myself and mostly in her that I trusted her with my life. Like, time and time again, we'd go to these shows and she'd be by far the smallest horse in our class and she would blow it out of the park. But like I said, there have been some comments lately that have really just like left a hole in my heart with regards to, I don't know, just specific things. I don't entirely want to get into the details of it, but it has really, really taken a toll on my confidence, not only in myself, but a little bit in Penelope, and just feeling like, okay, don't get me wrong, that horse is amazing, but like, I feel like I lose so much confidence when I feel like I am screwing up in ways that cause her to screw up. And so I want to get my confidence back. I don't know if it'll ever be at the point that it was when I was 17 or 18, just because I was young, I was a teenager, that sort of thing. But I do want to get back to the point where I just feel relatively fearless on this horse, like not batting an eye at novice. That would be a great thing. Doesn't necessarily have to be at a show, but at home I want to feel like, and of course this has to happen if I want to go novice. I will not let myself go novice unless I feel like it's easy again. But that's where I want to be. Another big thing I really want to do this year, and I don't know if this is so much of a goal or something that I guess it's a goal. I want to take more formal dressage lessons. Again, how do you quantify the word more? But there is a dressage trainer pretty close to our barn that some folks trailer to a few times a week that I would either love to join or have her come over more often. She comes over about once a month and I've just never been able to get myself on the list, whether it's I don't have the time at the moment, financially I don't have the resources at the moment, or Penelope is lame. And granted, Penelope's been at my barn for 3 months and 3 days, which means this trainer has come over 3 times in that period. But I would love to take more formal dressage lessons. I feel like Penelope has so much potential with dressage that I have nowhere near unlocked. She has a lot of energy, and I think I just want to learn how to channel it better. Dressage has always been something I have loved, and I've never really given it the time and attention that I wish I could. So I'm really looking forward to this year, even if it's just a few times over the summer, just really working on our formal dressage. And I don't know, I'm just really excited for it, where I feel like getting my confidence back jumping almost makes me sad to think about. Dressage is something I'm like genuinely excited for, and of course I love jumping, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, like I said, the dressage lesson thing I'm just really, really excited for. So that is basically everything. I don't have a ton of major goals for this year. Like I said, last year I feel like I set a lot of expectations for myself that for whatever reason I just couldn't reach, and looking back on it, it's kind of sad, where I feel like a lot of these are things that are doable, and they motivate me for the most part. Like I said, the whole jumping thing kind of makes me sad, but at the same time it just motivates me to do everything in my power to make the most of our free rides, our hacks, and go into our jumping lessons with as much confidence and whatnot. I'm looking forward to this year, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. So I hope you all have a great day. Let me know your goals down below, and I will see you all next time. Peace out. Bye.